All right, hi team. So we're gonna go over how to stretch your hip flexors, which are right here in your front of your body. They attach onto the femur, approximately here, and they attach onto the front of your spine. Okay? Usually people complain being tight in here, and it's not actually their hip flexors. Usually what people feel when their hip flexors are really tight is they get discomfort in their low back kind of across, or they're having a hard time standing up straight, so they'll sort of be in this like bent position and having a hard time getting into neutral. Sometimes you might feel a little bit tight here, or you'll go to do something and it just doesn't quite feel right. And then that's a good time that you really need to be stretching. You should be stretching your hip flexors pretty much every day if you have a desk job, if you drive a lot, if we're doing a ton of squatting here, just because they're going to get tight. That's kind of life. All right, so watch the next 3 stretches and start doing them at home.
Go.
All right, we're going to go over our first hip flexor stretch. So I'm going to use the pad just to save my knee. Come down on the pad, get my foot out in front of me. For my hip flexor to actually be stretched, I have to keep my pelvis in a straight, neutral, or almost posterior pelvic tilt, because the psoas, which is your main hip flexor, attaches here and on the front of your spine. So if I lean forward and let this all go, I'm not actually elongating that muscle. The 2 points have to stay as far away from each other as possible to get the elongation. So I see a lot of people in this position, but then they're actually just letting their pelvis go like this, getting absolutely no stretch. Or I'll see them just lean forward, and you're really not getting much of a stretch either. So you have to think about tucking your pelvis under. So I was here, I'm here, and then try to lean forward, which is going to be minimal. Like, that's as far as I can go, and I'm getting a really aggressive stretch here. Okay? All right, next one. Commonly referred to as a couch stretch. You could use it on anything. You don't have to have a couch. Just an elevated surface behind you. Some people use the wall. I like an elevated surface because I like to hook my toes onto it. I don't like to jam my toes into the wall. So all I'm going to do, I'm put my hands down just for my own balance. I'm going to hook my toes on there, come down onto my pad, and then again I'm getting this pelvis posteriorly tilted or in neutral. And then I'm just going to sit up tall because this isn't a very aggressive stretch. I don't need to really go any further. And plus, if you go any further, you're losing the stretch that's now happening in your quad because your knee is in so much flexion. So this is not only stretching my hip flexor. If I sit up nice and tall and straight, I'm also getting a little bit of my quad now because my knee is so bent. Okay? The danger with this one is a lot of people over pull and they get in a lot of extension in their back and it starts hurting their back. Or the stretch is just too aggressive and then it starts irritating everything. You don't need to force your body to do stuff. You need to gently encourage it to do stuff. So if this stretch feels like misery, it might be just too much. Go back to the other one. This was too aggressive. Okay, last one. You can do this in your bed. You can do it here on the blocks. Any structure where you can be up a little bit higher so your leg can be hanging. So we're going to sit on the edge. Grab the leg that we're not stretching into our chest. Very important because you got to maintain your pelvic position. And then we're just going to lean back and let this hang off the edge, and then gravity will do its job. Okay? For some of us, we're going to be out here with our leg all straight because we're so tight in our hip flexors and quads, or we're going to be pulled out to the side because our IT bands and lateral quad are so tight. So you can have a friend, or you can catch the floor and bring it like that so that it's being bent and kept straight with your body and not coming out to the side, and just hang out here. And you can hang out here for a good 30-45 seconds. Just let it stretch. And then when you want to get up, come up as a unit, switch to the other side, grab, lay down, and then just let it hang. And the same thing, if you can hook the floor, get a good stretch. Pay attention to your back. Make sure it's not coming up off of the bed or mat or whatever you're on. Make sure it stays in nice and tight.